Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from Sunday's action. But for now, it's Monday Night Football. And to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Now we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They're halfway home, looking good at a perfect 8-0.
And not much to complain about so far, is there? I'd have to say they're the best team in the NFL through the first half of the year.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes that actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And his first pass is incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Set! 3-19! 3-19!
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
They go play action here on 1st down. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They were ball hawks last week. They had a trio of interceptions on defense. In the first drive, they pick up right where they left off.
They're creating quite a reputation for themselves, aren't they? And sometimes what happens is when they know that the defense can take the ball away, as they saw the previous week, now you try too hard to not let them take it away, and you force yourself into errors. They've intimidated them, in a sense, and gotten the ball from them.
Pushing his way through. And now running right through it. A big play there for Minnesota. Give him 52 yards on the ground. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
Now this time he'll look to throw. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
To To throw on second down. Fields. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
All right, here we go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. Man, those numbers from last week. What do you call a game like that? Monumental? A career game?
Yeah, every one of those adjectives you can pull up. Monumental, mammoth, massive. But you also know that he went.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30. 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. 95 yards. And the Vikings get the quick strike touchdown.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The numbers for him from a week ago. 7 catches, 69 yards.
And he was able to haul that pass in there, but he knows he's got a tough task ahead of him. This unit in the top 5 in the NFL against the pass. He's going to have to really work hard to get open.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play. They'll look to throw now on first down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
And someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. They're on the march, but facing a third down here. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want.
Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. Maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Buying time to his left. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete. Well, he's been the guy already over 100 yards here in the first half. Could have had a lot more if he would have been able to haul that one in.
Yeah, in fact, our statistician Marvin was already handing me a piece of paper with that yardage totaled on it. He thought that catch was going to happen just as you and I did as well.
Steps away. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
Definitely worth taking in our deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. To throw on 3rd down. Fields. Now he's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. In for the score. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Partner, remember that old film of Peyton Manning going through the route tree with his great receivers in Indianapolis? I think we're seeing the results of the same type of work here today. These guys know each other so well that they don't even have to call the play. They can just look each other and know the route that's going to be run, and usually the connection is perfect.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
He'll drop to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But it looked like a Packer. Yeah, a Packer was able to get this back, and they'll indeed keep possession.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball. He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They'll set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it down to the play to the 37. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And Lutz's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Now, that's something of a pick-me-up, but the offense certainly has struggled, but they do get the field goal before half to put 3 on the board.
Yeah, you don't want to be shut out, but let's face it, those 3 points, that's not going to solve all their problems either.
And he's going to be out of bounds here on the return at his own 2-yard line.
Only able to get it to the 2-yard line on his return. Not going to make a lot of friends on your team when you only get it that far.
To throw from his end zone, Fields. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The 40, past the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. On his way to a monster game, 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And that's the type of play that'll give your sideline some juice, a long touchdown pass.
And it's like a bolt of lightning, isn't it? That suddenness of that play brings everyone to their feet in the stadium, and he takes it all the way to the end zone. Give him credit for making that type of a play call, even more credit for how they executed it.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
He's NFL sack leader coming into the game. And now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Pearson. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Back to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Blue 90.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He hits White, complete. And he gets it to the 32, good enough for a first down. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Now let's go. Green 39.
Now back to throw. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31, the 30, 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, It's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. Tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Back to throw now on first down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is second and long.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
And no running here. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So their move is to decline that so they don't get another second down. It'll be third.
So that has to tell us that they're pretty confident in their third down defense, right?
Absolutely.
Whether it's their sub package or nickel package, whatever they want to run out there, they feel like they can defend here on third down.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taken in at the 22. 51 yards on the punt there. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10. On first down, Fields. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. So we've... All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he's going to be out of bounds here on the return at his own 2-yard line.
Only able to get it to the 2-yard line on his return. Not going to make a lot of friends on your team when you only get it that far.
To throw from his end zone, Fields. And that's going to be too high, out of bounds and incomplete. But one thing's for sure, they're still taking their shots downfield, even with a big lead.
I think it's way too early to go into a shell, so I like what they're doing. Continue to take your shots. Continue to be aggressive. It's not their job to slow themselves down.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And into the end zone. It's a pick six and a Packer touchdown. Charles, we've seen them target one of their main weapons time and time again. Maybe they went to that well too many times there.
Yeah, and it's so difficult to determine how many times is too many, because how many times have we seen a team go and play and say, until they stop us, we'll keep going. But they got stopped on that one, and it cost them 6 points.
And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Throwing after the interception. Fields. To the right side, complete to Taylor. It's a foot race. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. And let's count them up now. 1, 2, 3, 4 touchdown receptions for him in this game.
And just one shy of the NFL record. What a great performance. Going up and catching the football, creating space, and finding the end zone. That's what it's all about.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The Packers on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
All right, here we go. Blue line it. Blue line.
Back to throw here. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Fair catch called. It's taken in right at the 20-yard line. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Fields. Wide open receiver complete. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A big play there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Vikings offense continues to pour it on. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency. Move the
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult.
Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down.
But they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments, and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Throwing on 1st down, Fields. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one goes for 24 yards. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Yeah, everyone dialed in.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Fields. His throw caught right around the 6. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. As his guys are in for 6. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Vikings. And that, boys and girls, is an NFL record 6th touchdown reception. The record has stood since 1950. What a game.
How about that? Because so many things have to go right in order for it to happen. Not just him catching the passes. Someone delivering it accurately. Offensive line giving them time to throw the ball. A true team record. But he stands above it because he was on the receiving end of so many great plays.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They're going to look to throw. On the left side, a catch by White. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Tucker. Look at the big man rumble. They can't tackle it. That one goes for 36 yards.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain.
And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. They'll set up a throw. And he's going to go down again.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And Old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Pearson. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
On first down, Fields. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. Second down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept...
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. In for the score. And this Viking offense is running away with this one.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
She's going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So this helps to start a drive. After the penalty, it'll be 1st and 5.
Green 39! Green 39!
Looking to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Pearson. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed. Because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd down.
Hurry up, here we go! 3-19! 3-19!
They'll look to throw here. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Garrett. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters got to you.
Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all, and if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe...
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But a Viking was able to corral this one, and Minnesota will keep possession. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. That one looks like he'll throw here. And the pressure gets to him again.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Operating from the gun, Fields. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On 4th down, Fields. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a peep of protest out of them. That's just who they are.
3-19! 3-19!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. And Lutz puts this one through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through. Only able to get it to the 2-yard line on his return. Not going to make a lot of friends on your team when you only get it that far.
To throw from his end zone, Fields. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it. And it took the ball off course.
One of the great coaches said football is really a simple game. Rush theirs, protect yours. And he's talking about those guys throwing the football. In this situation, the rush won, hitting the quarterback and forcing him into an incompletion.
And he was very fortunate there to get out of his end zone. He maybe got back to the 2-yard line. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Oh, ship defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 20. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. And that score will do it. He is now the most prolific touchdown rusher of all time.
When they always talk about a runner who has a nose for the end zone, this player exemplifies that statistic. And now it's been quantified. The all-time touchdown rushing record in the NFL.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Now let's go.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent. And now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle. And that's going to tack on 15 more.
Defense.
They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. And this will be caught. We'll forget taking the knee. Some late gamesmanship here as they throw for a late touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Now the final act of this victory, the extra point. The extra point up and good, but this one was decided anyway, as that will be the final action in this ball game. They've reached their goal already of winning 9 games. Now I think it's time to set some new goals.
I agree with you totally. It seems to me that they sold themselves just a little bit short. When every season begins, every team points to 10 wins as the number you have to really make a strong push for the playoffs. They're close to that number now.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaughan. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.